Hi. As I said in my last review on The Institute, I would be covering Later next. Later is a short novel that's released under the Hard Case Crime section along with Joyland and The Colorado Kid. This book was released in March 2021 and it is a treat. So let's just get into it. So this copy of Later is 248 pages, and that is extremely short for a full-length Stephen King novel. The only other Stephen King books I can think of that are this short that aren't labelled novellas are Carrie and The Girl That Loved Tom Gordon. So yeah, this book is a quickie, but it's a very, very good quickie. Sometimes you need just, a nice quick book with plenty of chills and very little filler, and this book just delivers perfectly on that regard. It's a nice scary book, and it has a kind of arrogant tone. Please, I mean that in a good way. And it's one of those rarish Stephen King books that are told from the first person point of view. This book is about a young kid named Jamie Conklin, and he lives with his mother, Tia, and they are not in a very good financial situation. His mum's a literary agent, and the kid is obviously only very young, Jamie, but there's a catch. He can see dead people. And before you ask, yes, this book does feel a lot like The Sixth Sense, and I adore that. But the dead people don't hang around for as long as they do in The Sixth Sense. The longer they've been dead, the more they fade away. But there's another catch. The dead have no secrets. They have to tell the truth. To whatever question Jamie asks them, they have to answer truthfully. And there are adults in this story that try to exploit Jamie's gift for terrifying reasons, and it ends up being a really gripping, intense tale that I absolutely love. It's also a great coming of age story too, because we have to watch Jamie grow up with this gift, or curse is probably a better way to put it, and see how he deals with it, and it's really good. This book is very, very meta, and usually I hate it when, a book, or especially a movie, is meta. But here, it just works so well. Stephen King has the right to do that. The Sixth Sense is actually mentioned within the first few pages of this book, so that's kind of like a bit of a hint as to how meta this book's going to be. This book is really interestingly written. Stephen King often devotes a lot of his time to, giving background information to help give the characters more context. And while he definitely does give background information in this book, it's nothing even close to books that his other stuff. Like this one just might have a few sentences of background information rather than chapters upon chapters in his other stuff like The Stand and It. This one just zips so quickly. And if you look how short this book is, it's quite incredible to think that it takes place over about a 15-year time period. Just feels like Jamie's whole life and every event has been put on a timeline, and each event is just written about and put into this book. And I love it. And that's one complaint I don't have about this book, is its pacing. It is just so fast, it's never not interesting. I absolutely love it. You're just always wondering what's going to happen next, and you're just dying to find out, which makes for a really quick and easy reading experience. On scariness levels, this one is pretty terrifying. However, I wouldn't say it's up there with one of his absolute scariest. The only reason I say that is because it doesn't devote the whole of its time to the scares. It's a bit like It. It's a terrifying book, but the scary sections are spread out through a bunch of drama. And that's what this one's like. Obviously on a much lesser scale though. I'm not sure if that makes much sense or not, but if you look at a book like Pet Sematary, it's just one terrifying thing after another. So it's very tense the whole way through, whereas this and It aren't. I'm not exactly sure if I'm explaining that very well, but that's as good as I can explain it. This book gets an 89% rating for me. I think it deserves this score because of how condensed everything is, but also how well everything is covered. All loose ends are tied up. It obviously isn't a real epic novel, but that's not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a short, fast, quick and easy read that is meant to be enjoyed by everybody, and it succeeds so well with that. It's just well worth the read for probably any person, and I'll go as far as to say as this is almost the perfect place to start with a Stephen King book. Obviously, there are some things that maybe more of a... This book's kind of a treat for people that have read a lot of Stephen King, but I think any newcomer can enjoy this book and understand it just the same as any old-timer fan. Anyway, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do next, but I really love this book. See ya.